So, Mr. Beast, we all know him. Everybody loves him. Do you love him? Do I love him? His friends that he calls the boys, his challenges, his show on Amazon Prime, his YouTube since he was a kid. Let's get into this. And that's why you want to stay to the end. Because we're going to be telling you everything about Mr. Beast that you already know, plus things that you never thought you'd hear of. And honestly, I love Mr. Beast, so I'll let you know straight off the bat. I love his drive, his motives. I love him giving away, and everything is philanthropy. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm just going to call it philanthropy. I don't know how to pronounce that, my bad. So, I'm going to show you guys videos throughout the course of this video. I started watching Mr. Beast a long time ago. He started off when he was 10 years old, you know, doing YouTube, doing things counting to 100,000, saying PewDiePie's name a million times. Then when he first got his first check, he went out and gave a homeless person $10,000 with his first ad deal revenue, with his first sponsor, okay? Now, this guy gave away tens of millions of dollars on YouTube. He's the biggest YouTuber. He's the biggest platform on YouTube, the biggest empire. That he's an entrepreneur. He looks up to Elon Musk. He's probably going to be like the next Elon Musk. This guy's worth billions of dollars. People say 1 billion. Jimmy James says, Mr. Beast says he reinvests everything just because he wants to make the best videos possible, right? This guy he started off making videos like with his friends in the backyard, like his best friend wrapping him up with toilet paper where he can't move and duct tape and stuff like that. Millions of Orbeez in the backyard, burying his friend with Orbeez, like destroying his friends' houses and buying them a new one, destroying friends' cars, buying them new ones, just going up to random people, giving them money in Walmart, going up to random drive-thrus, gifting them money, and I'm talking about life-changing amounts of money. Then he develops this new thing where he starts doing challenges. Mostly the boys were in the challenges at first. I'll show you the boys right here. It started off with his best friend, Kris, okay? Kris with a C, and I'll let you know why it's Kris with a C in just a minute, okay? Because it becomes Kris with a K later on, but we'll get into that in a second, down and later on in this video, so you got to pay attention and stay to the end. Okay, so basically he hires the boys, Kris, and then eventually Carl comes down from some other state to move to North Carolina because that's where Mr. Beast's headquarters is. He came from a very humble beginning. His parents, his mother, I'll show you her. She was in the army, an Army colonel veteran, and she became the first prison warden over in Germany and all this and that. You know, they had a lot of hard times moving around and stuff. I can totally relate to that. We moved around like twice a year from when I was a child. I can totally relate to that. That can mess a kid up for real. Y'all know my tragedies. I'm not going to get in on them, but if you want to know, you can probably dig in deep in the channel and find out some severe tragedies that happened to me, way worse than Mr. Beast. But anyway, he did go through a lot. Nobody's doubting that, and anything like that, it could be hard for a kid. And he was a nerd, a loner, just like me, you know what I'm saying? I was a geeky kid that always wanted to stay at home alone and play video games, you know what I'm saying? I was always staying at home by myself playing video games. I'm not very social when it comes to being in public and stuff like that. I don't really like to be in public unless it's like where it's just me speaking to large crowds. Like, I don't want to go and like mingle and stuff like that and hang out at parties and this and that. I could go on stage and do a concert, or I could go on stage and like perform. That's not an issue for me. I can talk in front of millions of people online, but like to go out and like hang out with millions of people or hang out with hundreds of people at a party or whatnot, I don't know. I'm just not into that. I think it's because I spent a significant amount of time locked up in small spaces, just always being inside. And if you want to know more about me, go check it out because this video is not about me. All right, so now Carl comes and moves down from North Carolina. That's where we were. He moves to North Carolina. That's Mr. Beast's headquarters. So now they start doing videos. Carl, Kris, and the janitor, Chandler, he's the one that's cleaning up the sites and stuff like that. They end up getting Chandler eventually. So now they got a 4-man crew, and they're making videos like crazy. They're so obsessed. They're going at 9 o'clock in the morning, talking all day about how to go viral, studying other people's videos, studying virality, having talks about how to get better and this and that for hours and hours at a time. So then his mother thought he was crazy. She said, Jimmy, you got to go to college or you're going to be out of here. You know, you're not making no money off this YouTube thing. You're crazy. You're loon. You're cuckoo. And as she thought he was kookaloo, later on down the road, he ends up giving his mom $100,000 and paying off her mortgage. And his mother is also his head of finances that handles his bank accounts. He doesn't touch his bank accounts unless he needs to reinvest in videos. This is what he says. I'm just telling you guys the facts and information that I've been told, that I've heard out of MrBeast's mouth on interviews, podcasts, his own show, his videos, his YouTube videos, his Amazon Prime show. It's 10 episodes long. It's great. It's called Beast Games on Amazon Prime. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. Okay, so if you like videos like Survivor or like, game show videos, this, that, and the third, competition videos, that's where he got into. So all 4 boys start doing things like putting your hand on a stack of money, and if whoever takes it off last, whoever's hand is still on the money last gets to keep it. Or hand on a Lambo or hand on a Tesla, the last person's hand on it gets to keep it. Stuff like that. Hand on a house. People staying in inside a house, they can't come out of this place for 6 months losing weight. If they lose X amount of weight within 6 months, they get, I think it was $500,000 or something like that. And then they do other challenges where, like, if the person can stay in a bunker for, I think it's 100 days, then they can get $500,000 or $1 million. And the prizes started getting bigger and bigger. You'd have 100 people standing in a red circle, 100 red circles, different people standing in them. Then he'd be doing the dollar verse method, which is like the $1 versus $1 million or $1 versus $1,000. For example, food, $1 burger versus $1 million burger, $1 hotel versus $1 million hotel. $5 Airbnb to $1 million Airbnb, a $50 million yacht to a $5 yacht. But he usually uses $1 and a $10 million yacht or a $100 million yacht, stuff like that, right? Very entertaining, great editors, great visuals. As he became bigger and bigger, he ended up hiring editors and more people, right? More and more got on the payroll. So now he's an empire where he's got 1,500 people working for him at all times. On the main team, there's about, I'd say at least 150 people. That's at all times on his main team. He has YouTube studio warehouses that he actually lives there because he works 24 hours a day. So I believe this guy's so driven. This is why he became so successful. He just thinks about YouTube 24/7, and that's all he wants. And he told himself when he was on video, if I don't have 1 million subscribers by the time in 5 years from now, my whole life is a failure, right? Well, I've been on YouTube about 8 years now, and I'm going to talk to my future self and say, Eddie, if you don't have 100,000 subs by the end of 2025, you are a loser. If you don't have 100,000 subs by the end of 2026, your life has been a freaking waste of life. You shouldn't even be living anymore. Okay? So then, basically, the next thing I wanted to get into is his friends. His friends have all been in controversy lately because I want to fast forward and speed up to present day. Present day, he's a billionaire. He has about 100 different YouTube channels. MrBeast in every different language because they do audio dubbing, which I really want to get into so I can make my videos go to every different language and do audio dubbing. So if you didn't know that, that's a good way to get all your videos out to people that would never have seen them, like in other parts of the world that don't speak English, that don't understand your voice or your videos. So I've learned little things off watching podcasts from MrBeast, and I'm going to implement them in my videos, and you're going to see big changes. Like, I don't have millions of dollars to throw at videos, but I can sit and listen and learn and take the things that don't cost money and critique them and make them better. So you guys are going to see me getting better and better over the next little while, okay? I'm going to be starting my podcast. I know I keep holding off because I just want to make the best podcast possible. And when I get that podcast going, I want every episode to be perfect. I want every episode to be top level of my content. I want every single one to be like that. Okay, that's why it's going to be the podcast like 2.0 type thing, because I did have interviews on my channel where I have like at least 40 or 50 interviews on the channel that you can go check out in the interview playlist. You can binge watch that one after another. If you really like that playlist, if you like interviews like that, let me know in the description down below and I'll get back into that. That's the main thing what I like doing, talking on the podcast, talking to different people, stuff like that. You know, reporting on things that are trending, all that, reporting on things that I find interesting, that I think you might find interesting. And okay, so basically, fast forwarding to present day, he bought a Beast Burger. He started up MrBeast Burger with an online ghost kitchens and stuff like that, right during you know what, mask. Okay, and so basically, he partnered up with somebody. It became too big too quickly because I forgot to tell you, he's got more subscribers than America, Canada, and Mexico all together. America's got 330 million people. Canada's got 40 million people. Mexico's got 113 million people. If you add all that up, that's not even 413 million people. So MrBeast has more subscribers than North America. Okay, isn't that crazy? No hate, but yo, I want to be great. Okay, so I just want a little bit of that. I'd love to get $1 million. $1 million play button would be my dream come true. Mark my words. And I would love to give back like this guy does. I would love to give back like this guy does. All the things that I did in my life when I was a child and juvenile delinquent and all that, I could repay people and go up and do, like, I've done things like when I'm poor, you know, grew up very poor, but you know, when I was doing my thing, slanging, danging, new downtown, like I would see homeless people with no shoes on and stuff like that, and I would go and buy them shoes. I didn't record it, but you know, like that's the type of guy I was. I would buy them shoes or food or whatnot. Anyway, back to the story. So present day is going on, and it looks like the empire might be falling apart. I know MrBeast will be able to pull everything back together and make it all work because he's just a smart individual, and when you have that much money and that much fame and that much subscribers, you can do anything. So he has a lot of influence on the world, and so basically what happened is he starts doing more and more, going viral and whatnot, and to the point where now he has 300 million subscribers, then he has 415 million subscribers, and right now it's to the point where he has the philanthropy channel where he gives back. He owns his own food bank. He started where he bought his own food bank, and he goes around, buys out grocery stores and buys out all kinds of different things and donates it to charity, donates it to food banks, donates it to soup kitchens. Then he started his own, but he used to go around and do that. He did 100 blind people see again, 100 deaf people hear again, where he did the cataracts for everybody's eyes. They weren't fully blind, but they were partially couldn't see, so they can see better now, a lot better. And it's sad that the surgery isn't just more accessible to people, right? But I mean, he's doing nothing but good in my opinion. People keep, you know, dogging on him for all this stuff, saying he's in it for fame and this and that. He's in it for more views. Well, of course he's in it for more views. So that's what he's doing for a living. He has to do that to make more money so he can keep giving away. You guys wanted for the longest time for good people to be the biggest influencers instead of like evil people and this and that. You finally get a guy that's willing to give back. Who cares what the reason is? He's willing to help and give back and try to help people. He went over to third world country and in Africa, and he's like making 100 wells so they can have clean drinking water, stuff like that. And people will just come out and be like, oh, he's using that as some sort of thing and this and that. Anyway, the burgers were disgusting. Nobody liked them because the consistency was disgusting, because it would be from different people all over the country. Ghost kitchens, you don't know who the hell's making them. The burgers would never look the same. So when you open them online, every influencer would have a different burger. The one in person looked really good when they're at the mall, the biggest mall in America, where the mall was too packed with people. They had to like shut it down because there was so many people. It was like a safety risk. And that day it was insane. Like, I suggest you go watch that video. It's these two creators, they go behind the scenes and stuff like that, and watch Beast Burger. Just search Beast Burger's grand opening or something like that. Beast Burger, Jimmy's at the mall with Beast Burger and 100,000 kids, something like that. You'll find it. I might list it in the description below if I have time. So basically, what's going on now? The controversy. I'm going to get right down and dirty. They're coming on to everybody saying because this is a kid-friendly channel, which it's not. He didn't direct this towards children. Just a lot of children are looking up to MrBeast and love MrBeast. Where he's put out a kids, well, I don't know, maybe he is directing to children, I don't know, because now he has a kids toy line out called like Beast whatever. You put them in a little test tube and it creates a beast. You put water in a test tube, it's like a science experiment and a beast comes out. I remember we had those in these little plastic baggies, green bags, and you put them in the water and then a little gremlin bad little character guy would come out when I was a kid. Those are pretty cool. So he's got a good thing going with the toy line. Then he came out with Feastables chocolate, and he says he's totally against Hershey's, and he's like, come out with Feastables and this and that. I did a Feastables interview in Canada the other day. The ones in Canada aren't like the ones in America, the big bars that you get to do mark the back of it and like do a lotto spin, like of a slot machine. So they're calling it like a child lottery. I don't see how that is a lottery, just trying to do like a slot machine to get like more chocolate bar or win like a piece of merch or something. But hey, I don't know everything, right? I'm just seeing, I don't think anything's wrong with that personally, to give stuff away if somebody gets like a certain golden ticket in a chocolate bar, or like say 10 people got golden tickets in these chocolate bars, and then he did a Willy Wonka video where he gave away a real chocolate factory. He literally gave away a chocolate factory, guys. Oh my god. Gave away a jet. Last person to take their hand off a jet. These videos are all here. Right? And the thing is this. It's getting crazier and crazier because he's the most famous person on earth. It's all over Forbes magazine, every magazine, everywhere you look. MrBeast, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And it's all because of this too. His best friend Carl is bisexual. Okay? Now, that's not a big deal. But he also supposedly hired a registered sex offender, which is no good, where he was in a video wearing a mask. Hey, then his brother or whatever ended up being on the payroll for a long time, or cousin or whatever. There's a few guys, Dog Patch or Dog something, that's totally after MrBeast, that's going like with a freaking clipboard and showing all this stuff. He's like the YouTube police or something, I don't know. But he does a better breakdown. Anyway, Feastables chocolate. MrBeast says the best part about it is he's getting children out of child labor, because a lot of these other chocolate companies use the cocoa from fields from Africa that are child labor fields. Okay, so he says that his aren't no child labor in it at all. And the recent chocolate he's putting out is cookies and a bunch of different flavors. And then he changed the design so that they don't fall out anymore. They used to fall out and go on the ground, he said, and get broken. See, the one I had, I thought these were them because this is the only thing they had on the store here in Canada, right? Well, this is all it was. So it's a tinier one, but I'm saving that because there is something to scan on the back of it. I just haven't got around to it yet. But I do want to get the ones from the States because I got to see the difference. I want to see what this is when you go online and it's a spin on the little slot machine. That seems pretty cool, you know, to win something. You can actually win being on his video or stuff like that. So he's giving people incentive to go out and buy these chocolates. Hey, he's advertising on his own videos. What is wrong with that? You don't got to get an advertiser to pay you. You don't got to pay an advertiser. He's making things happen, and people are getting jealous, I think, because everything he does makes money. Every time he puts up a video, it gets hundreds of millions of views. Every time a podcaster interviews them, they get millions and millions of views. Every time someone puts them on a damn thumbnail, they get millions of views. Basically, except for me, of course. Anyways, so now the bottom line, what I want to get in on is this controversy with his friend Kris with a C. Remember I told you? Okay, so Kris with a K has now recently come out on a podcast saying he is female. And you could see the transition with Kris starting slowly, losing his facial hair, getting skinnier, dressing different, talking different, growing his hair out longer, bunch of different things, right? And supposedly Kris likes this guy named Shad Guy or Shad Dad or something, which is a artist that draws nasty things, that draws lolly, whatever, porn or something like that. I don't know, guys. I don't even know what any of that stuff is. All I know is it's really, really bad and it has to do with children or something like that. So that's why people are totally against it. And supposedly, I don't know for sure. I haven't investigated it yet, but I'm going to do deeper dives and dig deep. This Kris with a K guy, he's done his transition where he's, taken HDT, HRT, hormone replacement treatment or something like that. So he's taking estrogen, that means. And you can see where he doesn't have like huge boobs yet, but he is like growing some or something. I'm not trying to like be rude or weird. I'm just telling you guys the facts, what I see physically. He's no facial hair. His face has changed. It's like skinnier. His actual structure of his face has changed a bit. And he seems to be happier than he ever has been. He says that he's always known this, that ever since he was a little boy, he went into when no one was home, he would sneak in his sister's room and like lock his door when people were downstairs or something and like try on his sister's like clothes and like put on dresses and stuff like that when he was a little boy. And ever since he was a little kid, he knew he had to hide it. And that's because in a small town, North Carolina and all that, people weren't really into that. And a long time ago, guys, I don't know if you know this, but like in the year 2000, about 25 years ago, even 2005, it was a very, very homophobic country and a very, very homophobic North America. We basically were 80% of the population, I think, were in today's standards, gay bashers, or would not fly today. Anything that people would say, like they would say the F word, like F-A-G, like call people that. They'd call people the Q word, Q-U-I-R. Just this was a thing back then when you were growing up. You could not come out of the closet if you're gay or bi or trans or anything like that because you would get looked down upon. Your dad would be destroyed. Your family would be destroyed. Everybody would look at you different. Nobody would accept it. Like back then, it was not okay. So I guess now, fast forward to this day and age where it's totally acceptable. It's more accepted than it ever has been. I think it's like literally to the point where we're teaching our kids to be trannies and to be gay instead of just letting them find out what they would want to do on their own. Today's society is trying to make it cool to be gay or trans or this or that, right? Where I don't agree with that. I don't mind you guys having your own community and this and that. I'm not no homophobic, nothing, this and that. But I believe that you guys should be the same way as straight people. We don't go up to children and influence children and be like, you got to sleep with a woman. You got to be with a woman. You got to go have babies. This, that, and the third. No, you let the child grow up and develop puberty and see and develop what he wants to do on his own and learn it from his friends and this and that. Nowadays, they get 6 years old and they turn the tablet on and go on YouTube and they see, oh, it's okay to be a transsexual. They don't even know what that is. And when they see that that's okay and that's the cool thing and this and that and it's cool to be gay and all that gets put into their brain when they don't even know what it is and their brain hasn't even fully developed yet. It's almost like pushing it onto the children. You let me know if you agree down below. Now, I ain't against nothing to do with your community or this or that, but I suggest you guys slow it down on trying to influence every single child to be gay or trans, okay? We need to be able to have the human population go on to reproduce. You know what I mean? I know nowadays you can just go have test tube babies and you can get this and this taken out and go and get it put into a womb and sit there and have a baby in a womb or AI babies or this or that. I don't know. I believe in the old-fashioned way, and I think God wants you to do it the old-fashioned way. I know in the Bible, I'm not like a Bible thumper, but I know in the Bible it's called blasphemy, and it's not supposed to be man with a man, but anyway, this day and age, everybody's doing bad things, everybody's sinning. I pray for you all sinners out there, murderers, thieves, whatever you're doing to sin, please just repent and Jesus may forgive you. I've done a lot of bad stuff and I asked for forgiveness, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm not some huge believer where I'm a Bible thumper and pushing the Lord down your throat. All I'm saying is I do believe there is a higher power. I do believe there is a God up there. And I don't believe there's a bunch of different gods for every different religion and every different race. I believe there's one God and one God only, and He's for all of us. Now, every different religion and race might have their own interpretation and look at it in different ways, but at the end of the day, it all goes up to the same person, up to the same God. Right? That's the way I look at it. And I've had Muslim friends. I know the Quran in and out. I know Muslim. I know how to speak Arabic, some words. You know what I mean? Assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam. I knew how to do the prayer, the Arabic prayer. Where they do on the prayer mat. One of my friends, Peter, he's one of my best friends. He's, Islamic. He's Muslim. And I have a lot of friends that are Muslim. One of my best friends, Afghanistan, his name's Hadi. I've talked about him in plenty of videos back in the day. We used to live together for years. From 15 to like 18 years old, we lived together. He was like 5 years older than me. Him and his brother and his cousin, they were all Muslim, and they taught me a lot of everything about it. Same with my other homies, Anu, Shrewsbury, and Abbas. Those guys were all Iranian, and they were Muslim. So here in Toronto, we have a lot of Muslim people. We have a lot of Iranian. We have a lot of Arabic. We have a lot of, no, Arabic's a language, but I mean a lot of Afghani, Iranian, every different race you can think of. Korean, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese. Every different race you can think of is here in Canada, is here in Toronto. We're the most multicultural city in the world. We could probably compete with New York. New York and Toronto are probably the most multicultural places on earth, and you can see they're right close together. If you look on a map, New York's here and Toronto's here. Okay? Literally. Okay? So anyways, back to the topic on hand. So Carl ends up doing his full come out on this podcast and everything like that, and everybody's saying he's going to be the downfall of MrBeast, that MrBeast is over, he's ruined, because it's a family-friendly kind of show, a family-friendly YouTube channel where about half of his subscribers are children, so they're trying to like push this on children, or with this sad dad thing, drawing all these things, and then they seen there was a picture of this guy's drawing up on their living room and all this when they were younger, and it just got worse and worse allegations, and then got to the point where Jimmy, her name's Ava now, Kris with a K, or Ava, she said that she stepped away because she didn't want anybody to lose their jobs or anything bad to happen to MrBeast or the whole empire. Well, then MrBeast tweets out something saying that he had to let her go, and basically he doesn't want anything like that to do with his empire and this and that he's doing everything he can to get a personal investigator to go around and personally investigate the whole internal thing of everything and see what's true and what isn't. And he has the best lawyers. He can hire anybody he wants, so I'm sure he'll get down to the down and dirty of it. He knows his friend's trans. He knows his friend's done a lot of things. They talked crazy back in Twitter back in the day, but you know what? Everybody did. People dig into Adam 22's stuff. They found stuff back in the day. Everybody said crazy things back in the day. Like I was just saying, people would say the F word, F-A-G. People would say the weirdest, craziest things, and back then it was acceptable. Back then people could say crazy jokes and this and that because it was not okay to come out of the closet, so nobody was going to say nothing because everybody that was gay was in the closet. No one wanted to come out because everybody was so mean and everybody was so nasty about it, and nobody agreed with it, and everybody was against it, right? Like, basically, like, no, my son's a homo, like, basically break down a homosexual. They break down and cry, and basically, like, father would probably want to kill himself back in the day. Like, probably disown the son. That's how it was when I was growing up, when my father was growing up, and when my grandfather was growing up. Now in 2025, it's acceptable, it's normal. It's actually more normal to be gay or bi or trans or something in the LGBTQ community than it is to be straight nowadays. So it's hard to find a strong straight man nowadays. Um, MrBeast just recently got engaged, so but they were at the point where they literally, for years, their whole teenage years and everything, for like 10 years, they basically said they're not going to date. They're going to commit to not dating, not smoking, not drinking, not doing nothing but consuming YouTube and YouTube facts and just getting better on the YouTube algorithm. This is part one to MrBeast. Is it true or is it not? You let me know if you like this type of content, and I will seriously do another one. I hope you did enjoy it, because I enjoy making these types of videos. Each and every one of you, I miss you. If you don't know me, you can subscribe, get to know me, and go binge watch my playlist. I got a couple real good playlists. If you go to the playlist section, don't watch the shorts unless you're into shorts. I suggest you go watch the long form content, the interviews or the lives or something like that. Those are more entertaining. Me personally, that's what I think. I love watching interviews and stuff like that. And then there's my stories and stuff like that from my life, and what I've been through and stuff like that. If you want to see, I've been through a lot more than people probably think when they're listening to this video and they don't really know me. And the guys that do know me and that have been around a long time and wanted me to come back and do more videos, and this is me. I'm back, and I hope you're happy. We're going to start going live again. Hey, I need your guys' help too, though. I need you guys to share the video around and let people know I'm back, and do a comment, engage, retention, comments. All that will help the algorithm know that you people like it, and to send the video out and put it in the right spot. Okay? That's what we need to do. We got to get this video to the right place in front of the right viewers, and then it'll go. The YouTube algorithm, I'm learning all about it. Thanks for all your tips, MrBeast. So let me know, guys. I don't have the best equipment, and I don't have editors, and I don't have much. All I got is my creativity, my talent, and my drive, and my will to not ever give up. It's already been 8 years, and I have not made a dime unless it's been from a donation. So thank you, anybody that's donated, especially the $100 donation. Last week, I meant to make a personal video for you. You know who you are. Love each and every one of you. We'll see you in another one. If you're still here, put a heart in the video, and I'll know that you're here and I love you. Thank you. Come again.